all is that want to or have chosen to be identified with this event organized by Mystery Publishers. Their ethos, their practices, by word of mouth, as opposed to writing. So when we write, we limit the distortion that may come with such being passed from one generation to the next by word of mouth. So it's good that our story going forward will now have a very clear version, as is told in no categorical terms by what we have written. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana. Karibuni. Most welcome to the 2023 Africa Redefined Indie Prize, is organized by Mystery Publishers. Thank you very much and congratulations to the winners. And your friends and family. We have reserved the extreme end of this side where you will sit. The judges, someplace here on my left. Partners, great. The partners are already here. And by my watch, it is 4 o'clock. And we want to roll. So I'll ask us to kindly arise so that we begin this with the national anthem. Kindly arise. Thank you very much. You may take your seats. That second one was the Africa Union Anthem that glorifies Africa. Once again, karibuni sana. Feel most welcome here at Alliance Française de Nairobi. We are purposely gathered here to celebrate and raise and hoist our flag high We're gathered here to do what the proverbial lizard did, as captured in by Chinua Achebe, of the famous lizard that fell from the tall Iroko tree. By expectation, should not have survived that fall, but not only did it survive, but it didn't break a bone. So shaking its tail and feeling that it had not broken or injured itself, it praised itself. So we're here to praise ourselves as African writers, not only just to praise ourselves, but also to inspire others, to inspire and ignite the fire that will make sure that the light of Africa is seen and experienced the world over. As I had pointed earlier, we are now taking the pen from the hunter, so that the story of the hunt will no longer glorify the hunter. The story of the hunt going forward will also glorify the lion. So we may say we are playing catch up, but it will not be for long, because going by the enthusiasm and going by the zeal that such an event and many others that are spreading across the continent is attracting, then it means that Africa is on the right direction. So karibuni sana. We will continue constantly saying congratulations to the winners, but of course we'll have to wait until the climax of our today's event to get to know and celebrate them properly and in earnest. Thank you so much. Make sure that this event plays its rightful role in helping us also to create new contacts, to meet new people, and share our experiences even at that one-on-one level. Now, we have a few partners, and I'd like to recognize them. The partners that have chosen to walk the journey with Mystery Publishers, partners that have chosen to walk the journey with the African author, so that the African author has a platform, has a voice, and has some footing as he picks or she picks his pen and paper to write for posterity. Of course, we want to say a big thank you to Mystery Publishers for organizing this event. This is not the first event that they are organizing. I don't know who we are going to listen to. Is it me or him? Anyway, thank you. It's technology. They will sort that out. As they do, please, I'd like to bring to your attention or inform you of some of the partners that are partnering with Mystery Publishers to make sure that this event is successful. And some of them are exhibiting. There's a table at the entrance where there are books on exhibition, books that you can buy and expand your library. Would like to say a big thank you to Alliance Française de Nairobi. Alliance Française have been a very big partner. They have partnered with Mystery Publishers not just for this event, but for a couple of other events, as Mystery Publishers celebrates the African writer. We'd also like to say a big thank you, and if you're here, if I read out your name and you're here, please, representing your organization, you'll arise and wave, and yeah, we'll appreciate you with a round of applause. Pinch Studios with the photography and live streaming. Of course, you can see them already. They are up and about. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Jane Paula Kagweria, she works at Sayan Insurance, though she's here at a personal capacity and supports the price in kind, that is funds, which go to the cash price and compensating the judges. Is Jane Paula here already? Not yet. Thank you very much. But even in absentia, tumpigie makofi tafadhali. Nuria Bookstore. I am sure by now everyone must be knowing Nuria Bookstore. They are a very big partner of the African writer. The book distributors, they are especially they support self-publishers, self-published books, and they are godsend for Kenyan authors and beyond. Nuria collects the submitted books, and they have a table outside here where you can select books for your reading and expansion of your library. Tuwapigie makofi, Nuria. Kazini is a media company for powering the African narrative, one story at a time. They support the book prize through the provision of reviewers for the books and submitted. The reviewers for the books submitted. The founder, who is Damaris Agweyu, is a member of the Prize Advisory Board, and one of our staff, Lesalon Kasaine, is also a member of the judging panel. Kazini, wako hapa? Great. Thank you very much. Kazini with Q, not K. K-A-Q-A-Z-I-N-I. There are others that are not in Kenya. We have a magazine from Israel that is also a big partner of this book prize. They are called Bezain Magazine. Tuwapigie Bezain makofi vile vile. So thank you very much. I keep extending a warm welcome to all of us. And thank you for finding time. Is a very good way to spend your Friday afternoon, Members Day, and with the Christmas mode setting in. There's a lot of traveling, there's a lot of merrymaking, but for the next couple of hours, 1, 2, or 3 on the utmost, we will be here making merry and celebrating the authors, the upcoming authors of our time. And just to remind you, Mystery Publishers support not only upcoming but also established authors, but self-publishing authors. Now, among our sponsors, and I hope they've already made their way here, they've arrived. It's already at that time when traffic builds up. We want to get to know a few of our sponsors. Zuma. Where is Zuma? Aha, great. Zuma is here. Karibu, kumpigie makofi. And when we talk about sponsorship, we are talking about partnership, we are talking about support that makes not only such an event to be what it is, but to give a lifeline, to give a lease of energy to our writers. Because once such an event is organized, then of course, even a writer that may not be here but may get to hear of this will get an opportunity in future prize awards like we're having today, maybe here. So kindly join me in putting our hands together as I invite Zuma.
I designed the trophies and also fabricated them made out of mahogany. Hello, you guys can hear me now? Yes. Alright. So my name is Zuma Maseti. I'm a full-time artist. I'm also a writer, among other things. I designed the trophies and I also fabricated them myself. And I represent UM Gallery. So we are very happy to be partnering with Mystery Publishers. And we were introduced to Vincent last year. And he attended an event that I host at the gallery. We have a gallery at Waterfront. It's called, the event is called Gallery Book Night, where I invite authors, mostly self-published authors. We sit in a round table and we just talk about our books to people. We have live music. And the main emphasis of that event is the author needs to meet their audience, the people who read their work, face to face, and just speak their thoughts and hear what other people say about them. So very briefly, a little bit about our gallery. It's entirely run by artists, entirely run by volunteers. It's the only gallery in Kenya, as far as I know. If you know any, you let me know, that connects the artist directly to the buyer, or to the client. If somebody walks into the gallery and they see somebody's work that they like, and they want to see more of their work, we connect them to that artist. If the artist makes a sale in the gallery, we take a commission, very low commission of 20% maximum. And we believe in dignity for the artist. And we believe everybody's an artist. And everybody's creative. So I run the gallery with my brother Minor, who holds every month the art of writing, informal workshop on how to get your ideas out of yourself and onto paper. And we also have a unique format in our gallery that every artist is equal. It doesn't matter whether you just started creating artwork this morning or 10 years ago. If you bring it to the gallery and it's suitable for display, it's something original and unique. It's something that speaks from your heart, not something that you Googled or you've been interested from somewhere. And it's worth displaying because you believe in it, then we hang it up. And we don't categorize people according to price ranges or according to ages or experience. Everything goes on the wall. No other gallery does that. So asante sana, thanks for coming by. And we have 2 trophies here. One is for last year and one is for this year. And I hope to see you guys again next year. Asante sana.
Thank you very much. A better round of applause for Zuma Maseti. Yes, these are the trophies, beautiful ones. Is this a bird, Zuma? Yes. Yes. spreading out their wings, ready to fly, to take over the skies. Thank you so much. Actually, from Gallery, the authors, the winners will carry the memory forever. Great, thank you so much. For the gallery, where did you say you are located? I'd like to push that again.
We are at the waterfront shopping mall in Karen.
Aha.
First floor.
The waterfront shopping mall, first floor.
We open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Come, let's hear that.
Well, son, I didn't tell you guys where we are. We are located on the first floor at the waterfront Karen. It's a shopping mall there. We open on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we have art adventure every Saturday from 2 o'clock. All our events are free, so Karibu, we provide all the materials. We have artists who volunteer to come and share their skills. So welcome. So waterfront, first floor, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All right, thanks.
Asante sana. Wanajiita Usanii Mashariki, UM. Asante. Now, I'd like to invite my co-MC so that she takes us through the author introduction. At this point, from Mystery Publishers, allow me to invite here Director, Editor, Publishing and Operations, Mystery Publishers, Yvonne Wamoyo. Wapi makofi Yvonne?
Good afternoon. Nani tulikuwa tumeonana in the last event? Oh, nice to see you. Nice to see you. For those we have not met, or those that we have just met outside, I am Wamoyo, and as you have heard, I occupy a big seat at Mystery Publishers. I am in charge of editing, and it is editing is one of the biggest steps in writing. You agree, writer? Yes, so I'm the one you find, and when you clock to Mystery, it is me you find. So I have been given the honor of introducing 2 authors and moderating the others who will introduce themselves. So for the 2 authors whose bios I will read briefly, I will ask them after I am done to stand and wave at the audience. So the first author is Caroline Kinyambaya. Did I say your name right? Right. So she writes both fiction and non-fiction. The book she submitted for the prize, The Beck Fence Talk and Other Stories, is her debut book. The book weaves together stories about generational trauma, financial debauchery, love and betrayal, and transposition. The stories in this collection have been featured at various literary competitions. Now that is a book I want to read. Stand up and wave to the people. Thank you. The second author that I want to introduce is Engineer Peter Ndwati. He is a retired civil engineer from 2020. He was born in Murang'a County in 1953, did his O-levels in Jiri School and A-levels in Kenyatta College before joining the University of Nairobi, where he graduated with a BSc in civil engineering in 1976 and an MSc degree at the University of Southampton in 1979. His book, Guka, From the Village to the City, is about his daily experiences mirrored in his village days. Oh, that must be so nostalgic. Engineer, please, say hello. Just wait. Thank you so much. So for the other authors, is Davis here? Yes. Hamisi? Yes. Muthoni? Yes. Boniface? Yes, Peter, in the order in which I have read you. Yeah, and I'm going to put a timer. Yeah. You see how we have started the event on time. Yeah, we ask here at Mystery Publishers, we are very keen on time. So 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay? And it's an elevator pitch. It is the kind of pitch that you give when if you are found with a somebody, maybe a CEO in an elevator, and you need to sell your idea or you need to sell yourself before the elevator gets from the ground floor to wherever the elevator is going. User. Yes? So 3 minutes in the order in which, but yes, I will remind you. So David.
Your 3 minutes start now.
Good evening, or is it good afternoon? Okay, my name is Vincent De Paul. I'm a filmmaker, a VFX artist, I'm an actor, and I'm also an author. So I am the author for the science fiction called Beyond. So for those who have been wondering who's this guy, I'm the one. So science fiction is basically about Maxwell Barasa, a superpowered youth who finds himself in the middle of an interstellar conflict. Now, for those of you guys who are fan of science fiction, future technology, conspiracy theories, alien conspiracies, and you also want to escape reality, just read Beyond. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Not even 1 minute. That was short. Can I sing a song for the rest of the trip? All right, Mr. Hamisi Wawire.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, this is Hamisi Wawire, a teacher by profession and a writer by passion. I am, apart from writing, I do editing. I'm the editor of the Eagle magazine. I'm also a poet. My 3 poems have appeared in the anthology A Game of Wits, and they are titled as follows: Let Me Be, It Is My Time, and then Unequal Equity. Apart from that, also I have written a short story that has appeared in the anthology Omen of the Dancing Dust, and the story is titled Tough Choice. Novels that I've written, one is Time Will Tell, Declare Your Interest, and last year's novel that I submitted for this competition, The Hot Chalice. The Hot Chalice talks about our lives, especially marriage, that we engage today, our children into marriage struggles, and at the end of the day, we spoil their future without knowing. To all of us who took part in this competition, all the best. Whether you win or not, literature is in us. Let it burn beyond here. Thank you very much.
You people are challenging me. 2 minutes. That was comprehensive. Wow. So 3 minutes could also be a lot. To find 1.5. Just to make things interesting. All right. So Mathoni. Hey, Mathoni.
Thank you. Modoni Maina. My mother is here, and at the time she told me I am a master of, I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. And she said that to me when I was buying kitenge, because I had a tailor phase, I've had a knitting phase, I'm a graphic designer, I have done Chinese, I have done French even in this library. I studied at the University of Nairobi. I did a journalism degree, but I don't practice journalism. So my mother wonders, what are you doing? What are you all about? But my real passion was writing, and I wrote The Leaves of May, and it was my debut novel, but I've been writing for years and years. Writing was a way for me to understand the world and understand the whys. And I'm grateful that I grew up in a household where my mother filled the house with books. She read books to us. And I'm happy that I can be here with her today, and hopefully I'll be a master of something. Thank you.
So wonderfully inspirational. Boniface?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Boniface Nyamoya. I'm a PhD in philosophy student at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, and I've authored a number of poems, short stories. There's one of my short stories whose title died, featured in the Pan-African Association, Voices That Sing Behind the Veil. I've also written the first Ekebusi science fiction, which I'm actually launching next week on Friday. The book that I submitted for this competition, Peeling the Cobwebs, happens to be my first novel, and it's about tribalism in an imaginary African country called Rikafa. So in Rikafa, you will see the Bechebechans, Bechibichans, Bochabochans, and Buchubuchans. Yes. So I will not delve into that today, but I'm so much delighted to be part of the team who are courageous enough to submit their works, because part of the submission is actually to learn, because I believe their comments will get from the judging panel, and I treasure those comments when we receive them, because they will help us to improve on many aspects. Not to say much, I'm honored to be here. Thank you most kindly.
That is so wonderful. I think one of the things that is very hard about introducing oneself is being able to toot your horn just enough, but also not appear as if I'm bragging about all the work that I have done. But you work, you have worked, you are a writer, yes? You deserve, you have put a lot of tears and blood into those pages. You deserve, you're among peers. We are here because it is a book award ceremony, yes? And we are so very proud of everybody who has put word to page. And for those who are here, everybody has a story. I am urging you, please get out of here with the spirit of wanting to write that story down finally. And the last author, Bob. Peter.
Thank you, Yvonne. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
My name is Peter Mushai, and I write about this beautiful country called Kenya. Now, Kenya sometimes to me appears like a soap opera. Now, a soap opera is a continuous, never-ending episode of a story that some of the characters start very young and they almost die of old age before the soap opera is over. Now, corruption is as old as this country. With subsequent regimes, we have seen the main campaign clarion call being zero tolerance to corruption. But what they do, as they say, the forest remains the same, the monkeys are the ones that are different. So in this instance, we have all shape and manner and character of monkeys who we give the honor of leading us every 5 years. Now my story revolves around the unfortunate incident of Elizabeth, who is carved out, and there is an attempt to rape her. I will not go beyond that, others will spoil the story for you. But more importantly, this book also explores another aspect about us as Kenyans. Are we getting angry enough when we have something like, when COVID broke out, before we could actually pronounce Wuhan and understand Wuhan is where COVID-19 was born and bred. Already in Kenya, there's some people who had Woshora, we call it Woshora in Kikuyu, planning for the money that was definitely going to fall like the fall in this country. So we created our own COVID billionaires. We had NYS, and we had the picture girl, Josephine Kavula. You are a regular hairdresser, and for some time she made me get very interested in hairdressing salons to see whether I could capture her, convince her to let me help carry a few of the sacks of the money she was purported to have been carrying into cars in the basement of some building yet to be named in this same Nairobi. I also caused tribalism, and the very sad fact of tribal clashes, which we all know, if we are adult now, in 1992, were instigated in response to the clamor for multi-party democracy. I could go on and on, but I've been a teacher, I've been a journalist, and I know by Yvonne, I might be the first one to exceed that's 3 minutes. I will not do that because you have the book to read for eternity. Thank you.
Wow, very serious things, but he's delivering them like, wow. So thank you very much for being very quick. Thank you very much. And we are very eager to read the rest of your books. We can find them out there. They are displayed on the tables, and you can also find them after this event at Nuria. Please read. That is why we write, yes? Right, so now I want to invite back my co-host to continue the rest of the event.
Thank you. A better round of applause for Yvonne. An even better round of applause for the others, please. As I was studying a bit, I was being convinced that people who are very good at writing are very poor speakers and orators. But we seem to have a new crop of writers who are also very good and smart orators. So I can't wait to read your books. I don't know which to give priority, but probably I'll throw up a coin, and wherever it lands, it will be my first book. I'm particularly interested by the Guka. The Guka. Yes, I love village life. I'm a village boy. That's where I grew and was bred. If I have to write, or is it if, no, don't look at me, Vincent, that look. Vincent is still waiting for my manuscript, but okay, if I have to write a second book, it will be about my growing up in the village. Great, thank you so much for those that have just joined us. Karibuni sana. In our presence is our chief guest. She made it in good time, despite her tight schedule. She works at the Ministry of Education, Madam Margaret Lesuuda. Tumkaribishe kwa makofi. Asante sana, Madam. We are really grateful that you could make it. First, by even accepting to grace this occasion and finding time to be here in very good time is a show of your commitment to this. And of course, by the background of where you're working, we feel at home and also feel at home in our presence. Karibu tena. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to the authors, we have a few minutes to spare, and that means someone somewhere along the line will have a few more minutes, either 1 or 2, when we give them an opportunity to make a speech. But at this juncture, I'd like to do some introductions. As I had pointed out earlier, once the books are presented for the book award, they have to go through some rigorous process of judging. We have a very qualified and competent panel of judges of eminent personalities. We will appreciate those that are physically here and also applaud those who could not or cannot make it here in person. Some of the judges, I start with those that probably may not be here as we speak. Dr. Michael Dikel from Israel, he is the vice chairperson. Tumpigie makofi. Philip Matogo from Uganda is a member of the panel. Xavier Omweri from Kenya, he's a member. Tumpigie makofi. I don't know whether Lexa Lubanga is here, the chairperson. Is he here yet? Aha, great. Tumpigie makofi. A few moments later, I'll be inviting you over, madam. We also have Empress Shikuku Tsikhungu. I love the Empress bit. And where we have an Empress, we have an... Okay, we will be introduced to the Emperor as we progress. Thank you very much. Then we have Lesalon Kasaine from Kenya, who is also a member. Thank you very much. Feel most appreciated. Then we have an advisory board. We are just going to give them a mention, and those that are might be here could arise. Members of the advisory board, Dr. Gamel Todzo from Ghana, tumpigie makofi. Dr. Amakove Wala from Kenya. Is Dr. Amakove here? No? Yes, I have interacted with her a lot on social media. I was looking forward to meeting her in person. John Sibi Okumu from Kenya. Dr. Robert Aron from the US, Makofi. Damaris Agweyu from Kenya. Mbizo Chirasha from Zimbabwe, the land of Munangagwa, the crocodile. Thank you very much. So at this juncture, I'm going to invite the chairperson of the judging panel, Lexa Lubanga, who is going to come and give her remarks. Lexa will be lucky because thanks to the authors, we have a few minutes to play around with to give you time to really make those punching remarks. Karibu sana. With another round of applause, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. You all look amazing from up here. So I'll read my speech. I hope you can hear me clearly. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and fellow book lovers, I stand before you today filled with immense gratitude and excitement as I reflect on my journey as a judge and chair of this great prize. When I was first approached to be a judge, I couldn't contain my joy. The opportunity to...
It's titled Kiwewe. It's a Swahili piece. Wazo kutoka kinywani mwangu tukakiangamiza kiumbe kingali kichanga tumboni kwa mchanga, mvua mafo kamwagika. Tangu hapo Soni akaja akaikamata roho yangu, chuki na hasira wakaja wakajaa kwenye koo, wasiwasi na mimi tukatengeneza ukoo. Kila nikitembea na hisi ni kama nakimbizwa, mkono wangu na mwili wangu na hisi nikawa umejaa michoro ya mauaji pindi ninapotazama na mama mjamzito. Uzito wa chuki dhidi yangu huinamisha kichwa chini pindi gumzo kuhusu watoto lianzapo. Mara kadhaa nimekiona kiwiliwili changu kwa hawa chokora. Mwenzenu usipati raha, msinione na tabasamu. Hii ni sanamu, ndani na mwaga machozi. Kila siku niko ulingoni na rusha makonde dhidi ya ukweli. Kila siku ukweli unashinda kwamba nilikufuru nikajitwika mamlaka ya Mungu. Mimi nisiyejua kupeana uhai nikajua kuumaliza. Kila siku niko ulingoni na rusha makonde dhidi ya ukweli. Ukweli unashinda kwamba mimi nisiyeweza kupeana uhai nilikuwa na nguvu ya kupoteza uhai. Hivi sasa nimeshindwa kuishi, maana nitaishije wakati mapepo yanazaliwa kichwani mwangu? Kila nikipumua nakumbuka kuna kiumbe nikinyima ruksa kupumua. Poleni, lakini singeweza kuendelea kuishi, ilibidi nijimalize. Thank you.
Si niliwaambia. Yes, I told you. Some better round of applause. Yes, the spoken word, creativity, and thought-provoking. Yes, talking to us in a language that may not be ordinary, but talking about ordinary occurrences and ordinary life. Yes. No one needs really kujitoa uhai. Anyway, just on the same note, I'd like to invite over Abanu for another brief session of the open mic. Where is Abanu? He may have stepped out. Yes, thank you very much. At this juncture, as we wait for Abanu will take over immediately. We are done with this other. I'd like to invite yes, we also yes, sorry about that. Great. I'd like to invite Mr. Vincent. I'd like to invite Mr. Vincent, who is the CEO of Mystery Publishers. He's going to take us through the award ceremony briefly, or rather, he's going to give his remarks, then usher in the award ceremony. But before that, when Abanu is back, before we go to the award ceremony, we're going to have his moment with the open mic. Mr. Vincent, CEO, Mystery Publishers. Tumkaribishe kwa makofi tafadhali.
Thank you very much. Before I...
A lot of mainstream publishers had rejected her manuscript. And yet when you read military echoes of military souls, you find a different approach, a different perspective of writing, a different ways of telling our own stories. And this is what is celebrated in this award. And yet, we awarded her on these grounds this year in August, just to celebrate this difference. Because we grow, or our society grows, by accepting the differences, the different voices, the different perspectives that exist within that society. That is how we become diverse and we become stronger. So if there is anything that I'd like you to remember in this address that I'm giving, if you can forget everything else, please remember that I said thank you to VDP and Mystery Publishers for this gesture. Now in its second year, this award examines ourselves, helps us examine ourselves as a nation. It helps us ask ourselves, where have we gone? Because it is important for us to tell our stories. What we narrate to the world about ourselves. Because in the moment of writing, we are forming our nation. We who are scholars, I identify myself as a scholar within the post-colonial theory. We post-colonial literary scholars say that nations are narrated. We know of nations because of narrations that we hear about them. We know of Kenya because of the stories that we have heard about Kenya. We don't know Kenya as the geographical mass because no one has ever gone through those corners of the country. We know Germany, we know South Africa, whatever nation you know that nation because of the stories that are told about that nation. And therefore, as we are gathered here, we are gathering to tell our story as a nation. And therefore, we are narrating this nation. We are telling ourselves. And we are telling this through the communities because, as we always say, all storytelling sessions become the image-forming forces of the nations. Communities are indeed imagined into existence. We imagine communities into existence. We are at a place where we have to keep reinventing ourselves as we tell these stories. We have to keep redefining ourselves because if we don't do that, others will define us. Others will tell us who we are. And that telling may not be, it may be a fabrication of our image and what they think of us. Because earlier on they came, they saw us, they saw everything about us, and they created us. But sadly, we have continued to carry that identity. Mr. Publishers has come to us at a point where many may call rebellion. They may call what Mr. Publishers is doing as rebellion. But I call it a point of expansion in two ways. The first is that they're expanding ourselves into rewarding those that are independent thinkers and writers. We are Africans, of course, and we ought to keep narrating ourselves, our cultures, and who exactly we think we are. Because we say we are unique, and therefore we must narrate that uniqueness. We remember ourselves, and we remind ourselves to remember ourselves through our writing. And today, as we award our best independent storytellers, those tellers of stories that have freed themselves from the shackles and encumbrances of traditional publishing, we remind ourselves of our sacrosanct duties of writing ourselves into existence. For if we don't not write, and I think I should reiterate on this, others will write us, and that will be disastrous. The second level of expansion that this award gives us is that it allows us to think outside the box. Traditional methods of publications sort of close our minds because they give us one way of telling a story, one way of doing something. And yet, this is close as writing abhors closure and closures. If we look at how our stories were told by our forefathers, they were told by the word of mouth. The owner of the story told it by singing it, or acting it, or narrating it, or simply through incantations. He or she owned the story and told it using his or her creative temperament. Of course, at times some of these stories fell off, but the best of them endured time. The fact of putting a publisher at the forefront of a story is simply asking that publisher to broadcast it for you, and yet the story is yours. Independent publishing therefore removes this and expands this possibility of resting the creative process in the hands of the owner of the story, so that you tell it in the best way possible for the audience that craves such stories. It allows a multiplicity of voices, styles, and themes to compete within the storytelling market. This freedom is very important. Freedom of storytelling is very important because, as we have said earlier on, it expands the possibility or the available possibilities. And as we have said, stories do not like enclosures. That is why, even for us, I'm more into performing arts, I'm more into theatre arts than the literary arts. Although I started my career within the literary arts. For those of us who are applying our trades in the performing and cinematic arts, we salute always the written word. Because before we write, before we act, before we shoot, we go back to the written word. It allows us to anchor the other arts. It allows us to shoot the cinematic and the performed words. It's at the base of all creativity that we enjoy. And this explains, ladies and gentlemen, why it's difficult to write. Because it's the beginning, it's the foundation. And I should know. Because the last time I wrote a book, a story, was last year, November, when Kenya Cultural Center approached me and told me to write a story that we perform. And I titled it, Lest We Forget. It was about celebrating Kenya National Theatre at 70. A historical story about the train that KCC has taken for all that time. I can tell you it was difficult. Since then, I usually shy away, although I know it's important. This award reminds me of the time I asked my mentor, the late Ezekiel Alembi, a man who had written so many texts, a man who had written over 50 by the time he was passing on at 50 years of age. And I asked him, Mwalimu, how do you write your stories? How come you've written so many stories? What does it take to write the stories? And his answer left me more traumatized, because he told me, I sweat blood when I write. A good story, particularly, remember this is a gentleman who was writing for children. A good story, particularly a story for children, will make you think until you sweat. And you just don't sweat sweat. You sweat tears and blood. It drains you. You feel possessed. There are times when you will meet Ezekiel and Lady walking on the road, and you will wonder whether he's seeing you or not seeing you.
Is one I really remember with a lot of nostalgia. And he had a very characteristic laugh that made us really relax in class. And when you hear him laugh, you know everything is all right. Before I invite Abano, I'd like to invite for just a minute to greet us and make a remark. Professor Mohamed Bakari. We were with him the previous book award where he gave a keynote address, and he is here with us again today. A literary mind from whom we cannot have enough. We cannot tap enough from his wealth of experience. Come and say jambo, Professor. Kwa makofi tafadhali.
Jambo. Is that enough? Ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure and a privilege to come to gatherings like this, because they don't happen often. And this is where we provoke each other, we empathize with each other, and we appreciate each other. So these are serious occasions. I only wish that there were much younger people attending these kinds of audiences. but I'm sure they're with us with their with their computers or laptops, listening and probably laughing at these oldies. Because
Mimi sina, leo ni Monday, ile imebaki ni ya kulisha mtoto. Sikuwa nimejipanga kulisha hongo. Itabidi umewacha uongo, itabidi umeniacha mkono, itabidi umewacha pingo. Za maisha nimeshazifunga, mangoma nimeshazitunga afande. Nilisema pesa mimi sina, leo ni Tuesday, ile imebaki ni ya kufika soko. Niuze za wiki nipate riziki. Itabidi umeniachilia, leo utalielewa buda boss, nimeshachelewa buda boss, nimeshanyeshewa, mimi siwezi oga tena afande. Nilisema pesa mimi sina, leo ni Wednesday, ile imebaki ni ya kupanda gari, nifike mashambani ndio nione mama. Kumbuka yule alikulea, mimi sina chai, si tunaweza ongea cheki. Ukuniwacha sitakosea, na ukinishika bwana tutaumia afa. Nilisema afa, pesa mimi sina, leo ni Thursday, ile imebaki ni ya kulipa nyumba. Ukisema unadai bwana itafungwa. Nina wale wananitegemea, mandugu na madada na shemeji pia. Ukisema unafunga bwana tutaumia, wale wakulipo wanapiga simu afande. Nilisema pesa mimi sina, leo ni Friday, ile imebaki ya kukula hipi. Unajua slave queen Nairobi hashibi. Itabidi bwana umenyelewa, mtaangukiana, nipate malkia mshukwangu ya mke mimi pia afande. Nilisema afande. Nilisema pesa mimi sina ya Jumamosi, ile imebaki ni ya gari ya moshi, nisafiri hadi pwani na nipate kikosi. Siku hizi kazi ni ngumu, tunahitaji pesa na maneno ni sumu afande. Tuelewe afande, tuelewe chiki. Na nilisema afande, pesa mimi sina, leo ni Sunday, na ile imebaki ni ya kuona kasisi, nipike suri naende aone na sisi. Ninataka tu kupata fanaka, baraka za mwaka, pesa kwa haraka, hapa na hapa hujaza kibaba, hapa sikiza baba afande. Mazaranganizi, mazata ondoli, nataka doki jizi, noti flows crazy, manoti flow baby, tuna hustle from A to C, Kibich na CBD, Central hadi Costa D, kila siku tukisema, nilisema afande, nilisema afande, nilisema afande, pesa mimi sina, leo ni Monday. Thank you so much.
Asante Abanu, lakini leo ni Friday sio Monday. Asante sana. Makofi zaidi kwa Abanu. Yes. Sasa hiyo tutakuwa tunasikiza wapi? Uko na hiyo where we can follow later when you are no longer here. YouTube. Kuja utuambie, immortalize yourself.
Thank you so much. Afande is available on Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, wherever you find music online. Yes, and also Triple B TV very soon, the others. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Asante sana. Jina Abanu. Ama ni Afande. Tutafute Afande ama Abanu?
Jina langu ni Abanu and the song is called Afande.
Yes. Asante sana Afande. Great. Yes, I'm still So let's invite Vincent De Paul.
Thank you very much. Once again, now I'm back here to say my remarks and then usher in now the award ceremony. And before I begin my speech, I would like to say thank you very much. Today, challenge is on your side. Last time you challenged us that we are not keeping time. So today, most of us did not keep time. So you found a lot has happened along the way. So next time, our events, they start at that particular time. You will say it is 4 p.m., 4 p.m. even if I'm only alone, I'm going to sing the national anthem and I continue. So, that Madam Margaret Lesuuda, the academic fraternity, all guests, readers, writers, and lovers of art here with us today to celebrate and award the 2023 Africa Redefined Indie Book Prize winner, the award, and celebrate them. Your presence has made this event very meaningful. We are very happy to see this panel, to see that there are people who are supporting independent authors, who are reading independent writing, and who want to see something new for Africa. The Africa Redefined Indie Book Prize aims to recognize quality self-published books, underline the word quality, because everyone can go to River Road and print their book and they say that they have published. Everyone can collect words and say they have published. Those words have not been edited, the words have not been laid out well, but there are some of those writers, some of us writers, because I'm a writer myself, who take the extra caution, who invest in their writing. They pay professional editors, they pay professional book designers, they pay professional layout designers to ensure that their books can compete even with the traditionally published books. And that is why we are celebrating them. These books, they have to have a unique and extraordinary story addressing the current and the future Africa. Why the current? When I was growing up, a lot of post-colonialism and colonialism was being pumped in my system. And all of those stories, so long as they were painting Africa in the wrong way, they used to gain a lot of exposure in the West. But now, the current stories of how we are living, no one was telling them. But perhaps they were telling them, but they were not being recognized because someone was sponsoring these kind of stories somewhere. So we started writing our own stories. And through that, because when you go maybe to mainstream publishing, you are going to have a checklist. It must address colonialism, it must address tribalism, it must address this. Those checklists continue to paint Africa in the wrong way. But now new age writers are saying, we want you to tell our stories. And that is why we want you to recognize them. So, Mystery Publishers is a Kenyan Pan-African publisher of choice with a strong bias toward African speculative fiction and pop literature. And we established this book prize last year in 2022 to fill the gap left by other book prizes and awards that focus on books published through mainstream publishing and to that end marginalizing self-published authors. There is a story in each and every one of us, but many a time we may not get the opportunity to have our stories told, published. Like many mainstream publishers, they prefer a story with high market potential to guarantee a return on the investment or educational text. Sometimes they may go for the occasional political text, and you have seen when we have For the Record by Aden Duale, when we have this person who was working with ODM, he wrote his book, everyone was rushing to know the juicy stories behind why Baba is not the fifth. What record does Honorable Aden Duale want to set straight? So we want to know those juicy stories. And they will always get the airtime that is required. So, what about your story, which is not educational or because you are not famous? That is where we come in. We help you to self-publish your story your way, ensuring quality, professionalism, and to all African writers. Look here, we are calling New Age African writers, so that they bring us the stories of our current Africa and the future Africa we want to see. Then we collect those stories into an anthology and we publish. That one we started in 2021. We keep on doing it every year. We just released our 2023 edition. So you can participate. You can tell your friends to participate. We pay the authors who contribute, because our aim is we want to show writing is a good career as any other, and you can earn a living from that. We have our limited resources, but if we get more resources, now we want to pay minimum of 50,000 per story. Even if you are going to write 3 lines and they make sense, we are going to pay you 50,000 if we get that money. So in the meantime, we have started with the lowest step, which is 500 shillings for Kenyans and East Africans, because at the end of it, we give the participants a copy. If you are outside Africa, you are outside East Africa, GDP, and this is quite enormous, 3% of the global GDP. You can see how profitable it is if we get it right. However, to redefine African stories, we must ensure professionalism and quality of our independently published books so that our literature may be credible and be respected globally. The infrastructure, knowledge, and capabilities are there, but self-publishing has been castigated for low quality over the years. We want to change that by helping independent writers get professional author services, recognize their efforts to produce quality, redefined African stories, and possibly earn from their writing. Because currently, last year, the winner was getting 20,000. This year, the winner will be getting 30,000. Why? Because someone heard our gospel, what we were preaching last year, and they supported us. Individuals, here there are no corporates who are supporting this. Mystery publishers, even if you are not going to have sponsors, we are going to pay 20,000 every year. That is already there. But if we get additional funding now, we keep on adding that money until we get, our aim is to pay the winner 10 million Kenya shillings. Reason is, Western book prices, they are paying a lot. But come and look at ourselves. Why are we Africans not being on that list? Why are we not even having our book awards to recognize our authors? If we do not recognize our authors here at home, how will they be recognized all over the world? Ngugi wa Thiong'o has always been feted, is a great writer, but every year he misses the Nobel. Why does he miss that? Do we have an award that has ever recognized Ngugi wa Thiong'o here in Kenya? So, and other awards that have recognized Ngugi, even if they are in Africa, they are being sponsored by the West. Why can't we sponsor ourselves? That is where we are coming from. So to this end, the prize is timely as many writers are offering in culture in Africa, because we aim to print at least 1,000 copies of the winning book and 200 of each of the runners-up to distribute them to community schools and libraries, and that is where we shall require your support. 2022, we are yet to print 1,000 copies of that book and distribute to schools, because we don't have the funds for that. 2023, the same. But if we get that philanthropic support of reading culture, the Kenya National Library has started an award system to award readers. So if we are being motivated to read, how can we help, support Kenya National Library in awarding those participants of reading? Because generally our reading has gone down. Currently we are working with over 10 libraries who are open to receiving the books that we are going to donate to them. As the popular saying goes, charity begins at home. Our writers cannot be appreciated and recognized in the world arena if we do not appreciate and recognize them here at home. Thus, it is upon us to support such initiatives, for it will be a challenge to recognize them without the necessary support, resources, and systems. Hence, this is a clarion call to all of us, individuals, please buy and read our authors' books. Today, all the authors are here. Their books are out there. If you can spare a few shillings, get a copy, and then have them autographed. It is an honor to have the author autograph the book for you. Philanthropies. Support our writers and help improve reading culture in Africa. Businesses and organizations sponsor, fund, or support in kind such initiatives under your CSR projects. An example is Usani Mashariki Gallery, Gallery. The owner was here. They are the ones who have sponsored this. And as long as we are going to have this book prize, Usani Mashariki, they will be providing the trophies. And we are not paying them anything. They just saw we need to support and appreciate our authors. We have big studios. These guys who are doing recording, we are not paying them anything. They say, let's support. And it is helping us curate these activities. When we are marketing your books, they are using these recordings. Someone has offered something, and the others. So, and the government, for which you, Madam Lesuuda, and other government officials who might be here present, consider formulating policies that create opportunities for independent authors, like funding the Kenya National Library Service to purchase at least 10 copies of our books. Currently, when every book we publish, it is law, we should submit 2 copies for bibliography and referencing. That is law, that one we obey. But beyond that, we are not going to find our books at libraries in Nakuru or in the other 64 branches. So, but if the government can at least support the authors that way, we have 64 branches all over the country. By the time an author is releasing a book, to be sure that I'm going to sell 640 copies to the government. Currently, who are doing that is the American Library of Congress. But our policymakers, do we sit down and think what we are doing? Americans are taking our culture, taking it and preserving it out there, while ourselves we are ignoring it. So why are they buying those copies? Every copy we publish, the first point of contact I conduct is the Library of Congress, and then the rest follows. Consider lowering VAT on books and publishing products, because this affects the ultimate pricing of our books. Establish a fund or commission for writers like Talanda Hela Initiative and Kenya Film Commission that focuses on musicians, film and sports, and no books writer is part of it. Which raises the question, are book writers not talented enough? So the prize is open to independent African writers all over the world. We are not limited to Africa, Kenya, wherever they are. That's where we as writers will be an asset for diplomacy and foreign policy for the government, for our country. This is why the government needs to support initiatives like this prize, because it is a vehicle for pushing Kenyan foreign policy through our stories, thus contributing to Kenya's national interest and building Kenya's creative economy. In conclusion, recognizing and appreciating our writers, whether independent or not, shall be a great force multiplier in developing the Africa we want as per the Africa Union Agenda 2063 to become an integrated, prosperous and peaceful Africa, driven by its own citizens and representing a dynamic force in the international arena. We have been reading stories written for us. almost been written out of existence. Now we are back. We want to drive the narrative. What kind of Africa do we want to see? And the African Union, that is why we played the anthem of the African Union. We are one thing. Let's focus for the Africa we want in the future. So with those remarks, it is my pleasure and honor to welcome you, Madam Margaret Lesuuda, and everyone else to the award ceremony to celebrate our authors, where we will be guided by the MC, award the 2023 winner, the prize, and thereafter make your speech after this award ceremony. MC, please.
Thank you very much, VDP, for that captivating speech, and of course, with a message to our guest, chief guest. Yes, the others will be waiting with bated breath to hear some announcement about the positioning of the literary and the creative, especially when it comes to boosting and motivating and inspiring those that venture, especially as regards to yes, what the government can do and what can be pushed. We know, of course, we are in an era where a lot of emphasis is being laid on tulipe ushuru tujitegemee, lakini pia hata tukilipa ushuru tunaangalia where we can inspire and motivate people in a field that has not been receiving a lot of attention, so that we can grow faster and keep the younger ones that are also interested in the same to be given a chance to step out and step up. At this juncture, I'd like to invite Yvonne once more to come and take us through the first session of announcing the award winners. Komakofi.
If you are following the program that was provided, was it on social media? You know we are coming to the tail end of the event, and every part of the event has been important, but this one is important. Yes. Yes, so we have heard from the judging panel. You heard that they went through a very grueling process to make sure that they read every book, every full stop. And now we are going to, even I don't know the results. So I'm going to be finding out as we find out. Are we excited? Are we anxious? Let us stand up for just a minute. Tumeketi sana. Salimia mwenzako, mwambie anakaa vizuri. Stretch a bit, stretch a bit. Mwambie all the best. Mwambie thank you for coming. Mwambie you look nice in African attire. Yeah, because you look nice, you guys. Hey, okay. Sawa. Sit down. I can see some of you starting to plans for after this. I see you. Thank you. Right. I am honored to announce, as he has said, the first part of the award. I am going to announce number 7, counting up to number 4. And we are going to clap for everybody with equal energy, because in Africa we love all our children, true? Those who know that old traditional method, we love all our children. And it's not just because of that, we are appreciating every single author, because you have been told the work that goes into this. My people, I am a writer myself. It is hard. So we are going to clap for everybody, yes? Then mkiona mtu clap, tutamnyima switch. Alright, so at number 7, it is a novel with an interesting story story capturing the essence of Africa. It was the most voted book by the public, garnering over 2,000 votes of the 4,144 votes cast. Hot Chalice by Hamisi Wawire Makofi. At number 6, it is a novel set in an imaginary African country called Recover. It weaves a compelling narrative of tribalism, which is a menace in African countries. It was the most voted, the third best book, garnering 399 votes. The book was among the top 3 that addressed the theme of the current Africa well, Peeling the Cobwebs by Boniface Nyamoya. I'm being asked to have the authors stand because there are people who are not there when we're introducing themselves. Yes, so Boniface na watu wa kuoni. Amazing. Yes, Right, that's number 5. Tackling crime from a different perspective. The Alternative by Peter Moshai takes position 5. And number 4 is a book of its kind, a science fiction on steroids. Wow. A thrilling story of courage, strength, and determination, Beyond by Davis Njoroge. And that is number 7, number 6, number 5, and number 4. Makofi wakiketi. You may have your seat. Thank you so much. Please get a copy of the book. Yes? So now we go to number 3, number 2, and ultimately the winner, and I give the mic back to Mr. Moira.
Makofi kwa hivyo, tafadhali. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now we go to the other winners, the first runner-up, the runner-up, and the winner of the indie book, African Redefined Indie Book Prize 2023. First runner-up. Oh, second runner-up. Look at me. Yes. Second runner-up. This is a book that weaves together stories across generational experiences in an all-female narrator ensemble. It has the second best professionally published at 87.95%, but failed to capture the theme clearly, scoring 76%. Now, I'd like to invite a gracious lady who won the 2022 edition of this book award, Madam Jerusha Kananu. She will come and unveil the second runner-up. Madam Jerusha.
The chief guest, our protocol sir, good evening. Good evening once again. Congratulations to all those who submitted. We are happy that you did. I'm about to do the most honorable thing that I've been called here to do, to announce the second runners up, and until I'm introducing to you Madam Caroline Kenya Mbaya. Congratulations.
Yeah, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping. Thank you. Aha. And yes, the other time we called her Mbaya. She's not Mbaya, she's Mbaya. Yes, ulimuita Mbaya na hakulalamika, lakini sasa Mbaya ni Mbaya. It's okay. We go to the runner-up. The runner-up. Yes, I know now. Breaths are bated. You can swallow, yes. Yes, from this end, you can swallow. Thank you very much. Breathe in. Breathe out. Yes. The runner-up was the fourth best professionally published book at 84.42%, and the second best in addressing the current African theme and scoring 85.50%. Was it? Which book is it? We shall know in a moment. I'd like to invite the keynote speaker, Dr. Tsikhungu, to come and unveil the runner-up. Makofi! She is a jack of all trades, and now she has become a master of one. Yes. Makofi! Congratulations. Oh yes, bora ni enjoy. Asante sana. Following industry standards and the conventions at 91.34%, the book also effectively addresses the current African theme, scoring 88%. And now I'd like to invite our chief guest, Madam Margaret Lesuuda, Director of Education at the Ministry of Education, to announce the award.
Is Engineer Peter Ndwati.
session of photos, so thank you so much. Thank you so much. At this juncture, I'd like to invite Engineer Nduati. Karibu sana hapa Engineer Nduati, come and make your acceptance speech. Yes. And I am loving that hiyo ngozi ya kondoo. Ni ngozi ya kondoo. Lakini ndani sio mbwa mwitu. Thank you so much. Engineer Nduati. Karibu sana and congratulations. Uka.
Thank you. It's hard to talk or to say much. So, as engineers, we prepare in advance, not knowing what will happen. So I wrote a small speech just in case. Just in case. And it happens to be the case. Yes. A grandfather is a cake. A guka is a cake. My mind used to say, but I am a grandfather, a guka today. It's a great joy to share a platform with Generation X, Generation Z. They are half my age. They probably equally imagine they will never grow old. They will never age. In my retirement, I did literature up to Form 4, 1970. That's the last I did of English literature. A Man for All Seasons by Thomas More. From there on, I have been an engineer doing sciences, not literature. We left literature for the journalists. But in 2021, after retirement, my daughter sponsored me for a masterclass writing course. They said, maybe I can write something. It is a 5-day course by Biko Zulu. It was during the COVID times. So we had time to jog and walk and sleep and write. At the end of the course, I was interviewed by Biko Zulu. I think it was April 2021. And he asked me, why were you in the course? I was taken unawares. And I said, oh, because I want to write a family story. Of course, it was a lie. I was never going to do it. But there I was. He broadcast it on Instagram. And my goose was cooked. I had to write a story, a family story. So how do you write a family story? You have to pick the history. And I said, before I write the story, why not first of all write short stories about every day? And that's how come the book Buka, From the Village to the City, was born. It is just a series of short stories, which are your stories, the things that you do every day. It's a story about you, it's you, and I can assure you, if you are a grandfather, you go through the book, you find your story, because it is what happens every day. I'm not good in fiction, so I wrote what happens every day. When I go jogging with them, with these grandchildren, what happens? When I take them to Mombasa on holiday, what happens? When I go climbing the Gong Hills with my members of my church, what happens? What do you find? When I go to the hospital, what do I find? So there is nothing scientific about it. It's just about you and me. So I dedicate this prize first to my mom. No, she's long gone. She died in 2013. But you know, she never went to anybody's school. But she never missed a school open day. Never. When I was in primary school. Her dedication to education. Sometimes I would not have lunch. And she would bring me dormas for lunch. On time. Without a watch. Without a watch, she would be there on time. So I dedicate this to mothers for your dedication to commit and your commitment to education of your children. This is a gift to my daughter Elizabeth Jerry. She's actually now a graduate engineer working in London. When she sponsored me for this course, she was a student. She, with my daughter-in-law, Celia Arisa Karidi, saved their money. They didn't tell me how much to pay for the course, for a 5-day course. So this actually is a gift to them. It is their unwavering passion for education, just like their grandmother had. To which I owe them gratitude. They use their savings, pocket money to pay for the course. Can you believe that? I'm an engineer, but they paid for that. This prize is a very pleasant surprise to my dear wife for 40 years, Professor Priestler. Professor Joyce is a professor of pediatrics at the medical school, and she's at Kenya High School. Kenya High School are called Bomarians, and they have a knack for honesty, tenacity, an eye for excellence. And she demanded no less of that from me. Thank you, Professor. This prize is a challenge to Buka's grandfathers and shows grandmothers in the crowd, in the villages, and the world at large. Some of them are withering with wells of wisdom. We can do something sweet with the sweet waters of wisdom, bubbling from the deep wells of knowledge and experience. Let us not let it go to the grave. Madam CEO, this book has a baby. It has a baby book. Because when I finished writing the book, my grandchildren here told me the book was too big. They needed something they could read and write. So the baby book was born. The stories in the big book I have summarized for them. But in addition, we made it interactive by having coloring. It is a coloring book with interaction, so that they can interact with their parents, with their grandparents. That is through the inspiration of my grandchildren. And I will say, the big book, I'm not so proud of. I'm actually more proud of this one, because this is what can change generations. This is what can change generations. Because at the end of each story, I realized I could give a Wuka lesson. Just very briefly, this is a birthday present. All of us have birthdays. But at the end of the birthday, there is a Wuka lesson. The Wuka lesson is some gifts are better than others. Education is a gift which never gets lost or robbed. It remains with you to help you in life. Can you have an easier way to pass that message to children without forcing them? So, I dedicate to my grandchildren for forcing me to rethink as a child. Okay, yes. This book has actually a disabled baby. When I finished the book, I met a bright person, one of my masters. She told me they have no books. So I was motivated to rewrite the stories for the blind. It is a pity we write books just for those who can see, but those who can see don't need books because they watch TV, they watch football, they watch other things. People who do not see have more books. So I was inspired to do that. It's a very, very expensive process, but it is my contribution to the disabled. To write a book is difficult. To write a book for the braille is extremely difficult. Because you have to relook through the stories again, rewrite them. And you have to do a print version, an audio version, and a braille version. Before, I know your time is running, but I don't have another opportunity, you know. In the final, those who came in were probably given a bookmark. Anybody who got a bookmark, who didn't get? Who did not get? You didn't get. Please, Vincent, this was my gift to everybody here. But it is not just a bookmark. It's a bookmark with a difference. The bookmark, I realize that the lessons I have in this book will be forgotten. Why not translate them into a simple piece of paper which a child sees every day? So the same lesson we read there is now here. From the village to the city, Wuka says, a reader reads 1,000 lives before he dies. If you have that in your book every day, it will be easier to internalize that message. So, this was a product of that. So, I'm happy that I was inspired to actually produce a product, not just a book. And those messages are not one. There are other messages. Any of you who can read, what does that message read about, Marie?
Education is a gift that never gets lost or wrong.
Precisely. Let us use the materials we have, T-shirts, to pass the same messages. I have messages on environment. On Jamhuri Day, we were planting trees at the Gom Hills because it's a message on environment. And on it goes. I'm sure if we actually used these messages, and this time I'm proud out, sorry I take time, but you have to take opportunity. I come from Moranga. Our biggest problem there is alcohol and drugs. But here I have a message. Wuka says, alcohol and drugs make your brain smaller. Why take a risk? If you want the children in Moranga to change their mindset, give them positive information which help them to change them, make the decision. I believe that with such a message, they are likely to be infected with all the billboards on. By the way, that bookmark can actually also promote business. Look at the back of the bookmark. I'm promoting mystery. With that bookmark, there's no way anybody will forget mystery, because it's a value-based business. So let us start promoting businesses based on values, not on corruption. So thank you very much, Mr. Let me just go back. I have wondered a bit. My belief is that these bookmarks distributed to 6 to 13-year-olds can change the trajectory of this country. We believe that corruption is impossible to wipe. It is possible. But we have to do it through my grandchildren who are 6 to 13. They are the ones whose minds are malleable. They have not been adulterated. Not the people at the university and high school and all that. I'm calling them sweeteners. My mission, if you look at the back of my book, is to inform, persuade, entertain, and inspire. Why? All books, if you go around, they are only about either entertainment or information which is educational or inspiration by pastors and all that. But we need an all-comprehensive book, a book which can be read by a family, and they share and become informed, persuaded, inspired, and inspired. And I'm happy. I have received messages of the young people who have been inspired by reading my book. I have already received messages, very many, so I'm very happy. So, as I finish, thank you, Mr. Publishers, for this honor on Kenya's 60th birthday. A man at 60 is a mature grandpa. So should a nation be. Let us revisit the eradication of ignorance, poverty, and disease. Umaskini, ujinga na ujinga, by reviving the old cradle cause of our founding fathers, Harambee, together, Uhuru, Kazi. Thank you, Alliance Francois. Why? Kenya 2023 very much mirrors France 1789. Very much mirrors France 1789. Thank you for recognition, least expected, at an age most unlikely. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Duarte. Tupige makofi zaidi. Yes. Reminds me of Mzee I interacted with this morning, who is on his 4th book, and his journey has a similar beginning with yours. That was the fire of writing was rekindled during the COVID-19 break.
This attire has a message that we came from the village wearing blankets, but now I'm an engineer with a heart, an engineer's heart. It's not just an ordinary heart, but it's also a heart of safety. You can see on the heart there are messages of road safety, because road accidents are killing more people than cancer in this country. Thank you.
Engineers are very, very meticulous. Very meticulous and scientific. Yes, we learn a lot from you. So at this juncture, I'd like to invite you, Chief Guest, to undertake a small activity to award this trophy to the 2022 winner. Yes, the trophy had to go back to be modified a bit. It had some modifications to be done on it. Yes, this one, I think, yeah. And yes, you can leave it here because you'll be needing it next. So, Jerusha Kananu Malete, Abu, a poetry anthology, Echoes of Military Souls, is the one that won the 2022 Africa Redefined Indie Book Prize. Give a copy. Come on. Yes, join this photo. Yes, and where is wapi kijana? Angalia venye wamenara. Tuwapigie makofi, tuwapigie makofi. Awapige makofi. Yes. And once more, congratulations. Fortunately, you made your speech in August, so we'll not have that opportunity here today again. Yes. Now, it's my singular honor to invite our chief guest, who is going to come and give her key address. Kwa makofi tafadhali.
Thank you, our able MC. I was really shocked at how I came again to award a trophy that I missed to award last year. I was sent here by the Cabinet Secretary to come and represent him in 2022 in this very award. And I sent someone else because after discussing with him, when I was called, I was actually on my way very, very far from Nairobi, and I sent my deputy to come here. And that has bonded me with Jerusha. And the gift to the Cabinet Secretary also came through my office and I delivered. And he was very, very happy. So when Jerusha was looking for a guest of honor this year, I think she still remembered that the person who missed to come and called me to be here. So I'm here because she has consistently been calling me to ensure I don't miss this event. So congratulations. I'm humbled that I have awarded today 2 trophies. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not amusing to be the last person to speak after all these great people have spoken. You can come here and say, I agree with all of them, and you sit down. Because you don't know what to say after the likes of have spoken, our professors here, engineers here, and then you're the one now to make your remarks, and all these great others. And when the young man was reading about I will write, it's like he was talking to me how many times I have written in quotes. I kept on saying I'll write a book, I'll write a book, So it's like he was talking to me. I will write with the right hand, then I said, supposing I'm lefty. So if you have to review that message, that poem, please say again, I will write with the left hand, I will write with all the parts of my body. It's something I remembered when I was sitting here. I remembered as a regional director, by the way, the regional director of education, Nairobi. I remember when I was the regional director of education, Central, when I went to check on how exams were being done in Thika School for the Blind. And I met this girl who was writing with her tongue. Yes, with her tongue, typing. You all know the old typing machine. Senor, she was piping with her tongue. So we can write with any part of our body. And if some of you remember, in the newspaper, we also had a child who was disabled, who was holding a pen with her toes. Isn't it? So today I want to salute the engineer, not just for winning, but for thinking of the special children. Sometimes we forget it. We forget that they can write. They can write. And I want to challenge Mr. Publishers, go that way and carry them to write, so that we can have more braille, we can have others writing with all the parts of their bodies. Ladies and gentlemen, I hardly come with a speech. I capture all your points when I'm seated here. So I want to start by appreciating the invitation. I want to start by congratulating all the winners. You are all winners. When I walked in, some of you were being introduced. I was one of the latecomers, unfortunately. Just walking from Nyayo here. And I decided not to walk. I decided that the driver will bring me. And then we were looking for parking and we couldn't get it. I was like, I should have walked. It had taken too long. So when you are being introduced, one young guy, I think he's one of those who are runners up, said that her mother said she was a jack of all trades and a master of none. I want to thank all the families here who have been very patient, who believe in you, who have pushed you. Some of them never believed in you, but you persisted. With your passion, you convinced them to believe in you. I want to congratulate you. You are all winners. You have written, whether your name has been called here as a winner or not, you are a winner. You already have a book to your name. And if you don't, and you are seated here, you keep on writing like Lesuuda here, please start making it a reality. This government that we are in, and I will not answer all your questions, I will direct you to where you can go for the answers. But the government we are in is passionate about the youth. The Gokas, sisi tuko na tutaandika na tutashinda, sino? Na shows, sino? But the government is giving you an opportunities. Young people, there are opportunities out there. If you took time to look at or to watch the Jamhuri Day celebrations, you must have seen this young man. Personally, as much as everyone was entertaining, but I was very keen to see how he was going to finish the image he was drawing. Did you see somebody drawing the president? Right in the field during Jamhuri Day. How many saw that? Very good. I can see many hands up. You're given an opportunity anywhere, anytime. Utilize it. Last week, we had the Youth Connect here in KICC. So when you tell me to go and tell the government that you exist, I will tell you one of my mantras is nobody knows I exist unless I make them. So make people know. We know you write books, yes. But can you tell us that you are as important as a performing artist? Engage the government. Don't send me. I will not cheat you. I will not go and look for the CEO or the cabinet secretary in charge of Kenya National Library Services. But I'm challenging you. You are working with these people. Necessary publishers. Walk to the Kenya National Library Services and tell them what you just told me here, that they buy the books and put them in our libraries. Personally, I'm a Rotarian and I'm promising you I'm going to buy 30 of your books and take to a library that we are building as Nanyuki Rotary Club. And that will be my 4th library to support in the community. The third one, and I like saying that, I supported the first time I became a Rotarian. And I mobilized resources. I was based in London as education attachment. Mobilized resources, put up a beautiful library, And every year I send books there. Now I know where to source my books. I want to thank necessary publishers for giving these people a chance to publish through you. I listened to your remarks and the way we want to tell the African stories. And I want to go back again to remind ourselves that there is a great opportunity in Kenya today. The curriculum, the competency-based curriculum is encouraging us to tell our stories the African way. We have Kenyan languages. We do not have others. And if they are there, they are very few. Please be one. Muka, write that. You have written about the village now. Now write to us what used to happen during our times. Where are those stories that our great-grandfathers or our grandmothers and grandfathers told us? Can we publish them? Can we bring them to Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development and tell them to look at them? And tomorrow they will learn in our schools so that we open up the minds of our young people and tell them that our languages are as important or even more important than that American language that we are running after, or culture that we are running after, the English that we are running after. Let us embrace our Kenyan languages as well. So I don't know whether I need a single book out there written in Maasai. I've seen a Maasai boy here. I hope you have written one. If you don't come, we write. Shosho can give you a few hints on how to write, even if I don't write. So, ladies and gentlemen, the message I'm passing is, yes, we have come this far, but where are we headed? Are we all opening our minds so that we move with the times? And the times require creativity. The CBC, for instance, that is nurturing our young people, and I'm happy that you are publishing those books for them, is telling them to be creative, is telling them to be innovative, is telling them to be global citizens, is telling them to learn to communicate and all that. Writing can help open our minds. Keep writing and do not get tired. Also want to say that when I was looking at, because I don't want to take my time, I'm told there is another event that is coming here. I'm happy that you are touching on the Agenda 2063, and if you look at the Africa we want, one of our goals there is well-educated citizens. Yes, of course, not everyone can take a pen and write, but there are people with ideas. So can those who are educated, those who put the ideas of our grandmothers who are at home, who do not know how to write. Now I'm happy to hear that most of you are dedicating this to your parents because they have worked with you, they have made you what you are. Let us not forget to recognize them in our books, in our writings, and everything that we do. And let us use this as a motivation, not only for you who are born today, or for those others who have learned how to write, but a motivation for the type of Lesuuda who have been writing books about my story, about the life I've gone through as a Maasai child, pastoral child, and everything, carrying novels when I'm raising. I need to document that. So I am motivated, and I want to take this as a motivation from you that we can write. So I want to thank you for taking the courage to do what you've done, and do not stop there. Keep on writing as many books as possible. I was looking at the trophies presented, and possibly these are my last remarks here. I was looking at them, and just one trophy, yeah, let me just show you. And of course, all of us can see that this is the image of an eagle, isn't it? Yeah? Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So, I took two quotes about the eagle. One of them is, if you dream of becoming an eagle, you follow your dreams and not the words of a bunch of chickens. That is telling you, in short, make your dreams big, like the eagle. When the eagle is soaring up there, it does not have a concern at all that it can fall from the sky. It is simply going up and up and up. It has resilience, confident. No, it showcase your talent to the world. I am equally amazed as to why Goyo Wadiogo has never won a Nobel Prize. I am equally amazed. And I always ask, why not? Why not? Who wins if not the likes of Goyo Wadiogo? But yes, I agree with you. Who awards them here? We must recognize our leaders right from here for them to be recognized up there. And this is the platform. You have been given a platform. Africa Redefined is giving you a platform. This award. And I will be a friend to you. And where I can help, I will help. And I want to end again by possibly another quote. Now this is my last. Still on the ego. The leaders are like eagles. They don't flock. You will find them one at a time. We have found you today through your books. You are the leaders that we are looking for. Leaders of our youth. People will come out and show the other youth that yes, I may be an engineer or it's when when you come to the village, you come for opportunities. I mean to the city, you come for opportunities. But let us also remember that there are many more opportunities that are opening up in our lives. So let us be leaders who can look back, who can be reflective, who can go back and inspire the communities that we left back there. So that Buka can go back with the ideas, sit with other Bukas, and tell them the same stories he's telling us. He's full of many wisdom, words of wisdom. Tell them how they can tell the stories to the young people so that we can move as a country and we can hold one another's hands. Because today, the people we are wanting here are Kenyans, from all walks of life. There is nobody possibly from the Seals tribe, or from my tribe, or from anywhere else. It is Kenyans that we were looking for. It is talent that we were looking for. And seated here, I am proud to be part of you. And I want to say that as an educationist, I'm very happy, and I will definitely communicate one or two things that I can, especially the issue of Kenya Library Services. Want to communicate this to KICD to have interest in especially the books that touch on the African culture, on the African traditions that we are living and embracing the West. Thank you very much for having me today. I want to say again thank you. When I walked here, I only knew two people, and I didn't know their faces. I knew Jerusha. I've not seen her face. If someone knows to join me, I don't know whether he has come. Lumachi? Not yet here. Oh yeah, he's there. Thank you so much. Please just wave to the crowd. Yeah. Connections. This young man was KCB manager in Kilgoris, where I was working. And he gave me a loan that has made me a great farmer today. So can you clap for that? So if my son was working with me, I don't know who you will network with here. Because those are opportunities we look for, isn't it? So I told him I'm here, he wanted to come, I said you come here. So when I go out, I will go and buy him dinner because he helped me to be a good farmer, isn't it? So then the other person I knew, and he doesn't know that I knew him, because I was told I'll meet him here, is none other than engineer Doti. Yes, I was sent by a cousin of yours. He showed me, he said I can. Thank you very much. And if I decide to write, and maybe I should seek advice on where to start, then I'm going to remember necessary publishers.
Great. Let's a round of applause for please. Thank you so much for that captivating and inspiring speech. Indeed, Mystery Publishers is family. Yes, let's all join in. The doors and windows are wide open. We will hold our hand. They will take us by the hand. I remember there was a time I had put a few things, I scripted a few things, and I was approaching some publishers. And as it has been said here, they are more keen on will it be accepted by KICD? We don't only write for the school curriculum. Yes, and that's I think we need to disabuse our minds about that. We need to write for everybody, not just for students. We can't only tell our story through course books. Yes, we can tell a very short story of our life and who we are through the course books. Let's just keep writing. Let's just write and write and write and leave the rest to mystery publishers. Thank you so much. At this juncture, I'd like to invite, yes, we're going to have a photo session here, but before we go there, yes, a vote of thanks from our CEO, Mystery Publishers, and engineer. Is that book in audio?
That is the next bit of the work. I'm
Yes.
looking for a good audio recorder. So far, I have not identified one in the country.
Yeah, talk to Vincent.
Vincent, I was going to talk to you because it needs to be on audio.
He will tell you I can do it.
But the most important is that I received a message from KISE this afternoon, and Kenya Institute of Special Education, and I'll just read the message for the CEO. Please, just a second. Because I asked him to review the book. And
for our neighborhood. The people from Motero, please stand up. The writer from Motero. Oh, yes. Yes. You live in Motero, isn't it? Yes. The writer of Sibiloto, so it lives in Motero, our local village, and he's also a member of our village. We have a village committed to writing. Of his sermons for over 10 years. It has been published as our neighbor on the other side. Reverend Jerome also has written a book on religion and women. Also is our neighbor. So we have a unique village. Yeah.
You're also writing?
I'm getting there.
Hey. Great. This is a message from Peter Lutheran. He was, we went to school with Peter Lutheran. Yes. Hello. I am very pleased to say that your book is one of the best for learners and children with visual impairment. It gives a lot of information that is vivid to their minds, to the minds of the young blind children. I want to recommend this book for any award on behalf of Kisui, Kenya Institute of Special Education. Thank you. Engineer, I want to add that one of KIS, the one is KIS standing for Kenya Institute of Special Education. Here in Kenya, I represent the Department of Visual Impairment, which is responsible for Braille material. I once again recommend your book for what it gives to the blind people. Thank you. Great. Yes, and of course that throws a challenge even to mystery publishers about going Braille. Now, these bookmarks, if you didn't get yours, you can pick one at the table, is it? At the entrance. Just get your bookmark, as you also get your book, either Uka or one by any of these other publishers and many others. Thank you so much. Vote of thanks by Vincent. Karibu, Vincent.
So, once again, good evening. I'm going to go to the vote of thanks. Before that, I say something about Kenyan languages. Mawira and your brother Kamanu, you have been telling me you are bringing your books written in Kimeru and in your vernacular for a very long time. Now that is the challenge. Next year, bring the book. This is because at Mystery Publishers, we are trying to tell our stories in any way possible. So we have started a department for publishing in Kenyan languages. And these are our first writers. For audiobooks, we are the company to go for audiobook publishing. Now, this year we published our second audiobook, The Echoes of Military Souls by Derusha Kanani. And it is being distributed by over 45 audio bookstores. So with us, you are going to get the right exposure that you want. And here is the voice of an artist. He's the one who did that. So the book is available online. Just Google Echoes of Military Souls audiobook, and you'll see all the links that are there. And listen to samples, because we also allow readers to listen before they decide to buy. Looking for libraries, thank you very much for indicating that you already have 4 libraries. We are looking for those libraries to connect with. And then being the first step, you are also the first person to support. So we'll be adding those libraries to our list of the libraries we are working with. Help in writing, as we have said, we want to build capacity of African writers. Even if they will not come to publish with us, they decided to self-publish themselves. They know the quality. We have Mystery Creative Writing Academy. You will see our banner outside there. Alliance supports us by giving us this venue every once a year, every once a month, to come and conduct in-person classes. So every week we have online classes whereby we address anything that you are doing. The content is online. You get your certificate online, but you are not just going to graduate. We want you, by the time you are getting a certificate, Nation Media Group has published you. Standard Media Group has published you. And any other magazine in Kenya, in Africa, have published you because of the skills we are imparting on you. Those companies, we do not have any working relationship with them. We want you, because of your good writing skills, they are going to publish you. And then you bring that as evidence. We have trained you well, then we give you the certificate. So it's not an easy work. We are going to make noise about ourselves. We have been trying. Writers, we have been given a challenge. Currently, we have our WhatsApp group for writers. Over 300 of us, coordinated by Nuria Bookstore. But we cannot agree on any one thing. So we are our own enemies. Look at the performing artists. They have an organization that is fighting for them. Writers, when we tried to have that discussion, we started running to Kenya Publishers Association. Publishers Association, they are already catering for publishers who are already established. Writers, we have been given a challenge. We need to come together, form an organization, and then approach the government to drive our policy. Even if we are going to have our national book control board or commission, the way we have Kenya Film Commission, to control the quality that is getting out. That is the way to go. But we are our own enemies. So also let's come together as writers, work together, and then we have a fighting chance. Last week I was talking to Equity, asking them why can they also have a program for writers, the way they have Wings to Fly. And they told me, when you are talking alone, Vincent, no one is going to listen to you. Come together as writers, and we are going to create that opportunity for you. So we already have Equity ready to support us financially, however we have to be as a group. Lastly, All of this, what we did, the judging process, we are going to share the reports with the writers. Those reports are not ours. It is for you to see where you went wrong, so that you improve in your next books. Many publishers out there, they are not looking for quality. We reject many books because we don't want the money only, we want the quality.
So most of those books that were submitted, as the judge said, they lack that professional input, because many people, either you are going to low quality publishers or you are going to do it yourself, and then you end up with that. So that is the last bit. Now I'm up to my vote of thanks.
Our chief guest, keynote speaker, judging panel, distinguished guests, readers, writers and lovers of literature, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We have come to the end of this ceremony. On behalf of Mystery Publishers and on my own behalf, I extend my hearty vote of thanks to all of you for finding time from your schedules to be with us today, to not only award the winner of the 2023 book prize, but also celebrate and recognize African independent writing. To our sponsors, Usani Mashariki Gallery, for sponsoring the trophy. The authors carry with them your contribution all the days of their lives, because this one, you will always be reminded of Usani Mashariki. And also, if you be open to coming to Usani Mashariki Gallery for that gallery book night. It is a very engaging event. Pink Studios, led by Monte and your team, for your commitment to curating this event and your invaluable input, Aijen. Nuria Bookstore, for collecting the submitted books. Kazini, led by Amari Saboyo and the Salon Kasain. Thank you for joining the advisory board and the judging panel. Maisha Yetu is an online media company led by journalist Buga Bujiri. Thank you for creating awareness and the prize for promoting our authors on your media. Through our networks, through our support systems, we have Tony Mojama here, is a journalist, he helps us in book reviews, having them published on Saturday Nation, and everyone who is creating an opportunity to promote our authors. Thank you very much. The last bit was on last week, the Nairobian of last week. When you buy that copy, you are going to see all the books that have been shortlisted. They were published there. Purity Mudhoni Thuku from Redefined Insurance, she added something to the funds, which have allowed us now to compensate our judges. In the West, judges are paid very well when it comes to judging. There are people that is their own work, judging, and they are paid very well. As we asked them to volunteer, but we told them, if we get any funding, we are going to compensate you. So Purity Mudhoni, at personal level, she contributed that money, and we are going to compensate our judges. Jen Paula Kagweria from Sayari Insurance, the same with Purity. Bezin Magazine from Israel, led by one of our judges, Dr. Michael Dinkel. A big thank you and deep appreciation to the judging panel. Writer Embrace Shikuku Tsikhungu, thank you very much. The Salon Kasain is also a writer. And others, led by the passionate Lexa Lubaga, for your time, commitment, and his dedication to reading. It is through Lexa that we met the other judge, Xenia Omweri, who is a very passionate reader. And Lexa has started a reading marathon, which we meet here every September to read Kenyan books only. This year, I think it was the 4th edition. Yes. So you see, we have programs that are supporting African literature. And lastly, the advisory board, which was very handy in offering guidance whenever we needed it. Much appreciation to the open mic performance, Oyamo Richard and Abanu. Thank you very much for making the event lively. Our ushers and sales and marketing team out there, Michelle and Anita, for your support. The Secretariat and the Mystery Publishers team, led by the Editorial Director, Yvonne,
for your dedication and commitment. Our Master of Ceremonies, Mawira Mutomari. Okay, this one I know I'm not pronouncing it well, but let me stick with Mawira, for conducting the event with such precision. And lastly, I cannot thank every one of you enough. Last year, in August you came, we celebrated Jerusha. 4 months later you have come, you have celebrated these others. Next year, now we are going global. We will invite you. Please do come, support us. We have different initiatives which aim at raising funds to lastly award the winners and greet all of these. So when you see our call out, we ask you if you have books in your house which you do not read or you have been looking for opportunities to dispose them. We have an event whereby we collect all of those books and then we go to auction them. And then the funds get there. Thank you very much for that. Our chief guest, Madam Margaret Lesuuda, thank you again for finding time from your busy schedule to grace this occasion. I know you have a lot and this is very precious to us. Your presence and everyone's has made the ceremony more meaningful. As I sign off, I would like to invite the Director of Alliance Française Nairobi to our host to say something about Alliance Française, support to self-published authors in African literature. Thank you very much.
After so many months of collaboration, you should say Alliance Française, not Alliance Français. It's terrible. That's a mystery for me. Ok, bonsoir. Bonsoir et bienvenue. Bienvenue, c'est Caribou. I'm very happy to be here with you because, as you may know, Alliance Française is supporting especially Kenyan literature. Who I am a teacher in France. When I'm in France, I'm a teacher. I've been at school and teacher of literature. French, Latin, and Greek. And literature for me is what makes humanity human. When I was listening to you just right now, I was thinking, what would have done, what would have been, what could I be without books? It's impossible. Even during the COVID period when we were supposed to look in the tablets and to all things, I could not. I was looking for real books everywhere because this is my life. And at Alliance Française, we are very happy because we are supporting Kenyan literature, of course, so French-speaking literature, especially African. We have some very prestigious writers like Alama Banku, Abdurrahman Waberi, and it is very important for us to do that because obviously there's not a lot of venues in which you can launch book for free, because this place is for free when it's literature, where you can promote literature, all not only in Kenya, but everywhere in Africa. We need this kind of space for freedom, for speech, and for literature. Alliance Française Nairobi is the first one now in Africa and Middle East in terms of number of cultural activities a year. It was 320 activities in 2022. It will be even more this year. And my colleague Denis, the director of the library here, is responsible at least on more than 50 book launches. It was 34 last year and now 50 book launches, which means that it is very, very successful and very important. That's all. I just want to add that if you want to learn French, this is the best place. Tonight, maybe it's a bit noisy because we also have the gala of our students on ground floor. So maybe if you see them so happy to learn French, you'll be attracted to the language. Alliance Française everywhere is a local association. Believe it or not, Alliance Française in Nairobi is Kenyan. It's not French. It's Kenyan. It's a Kenyan cultural center registered in Kenya with a Kenyan board. I am French, but I am serving the Kenyan board. And that's what I think all the dynamism of the Alliance Network, which is the first cultural network in the world with more than 800 institutions. So that's why we are here. We are very happy to promote linguistic diversity, to promote Swahili, to promote all the national languages. That's why we are for. We don't want that only one language invade our brain. We want to be open to other languages. That's how we like to be human. Asante sana. Merci beaucoup.
If we could spend the night here, no? No? Time flies so fast when we are having fun. Right? So we are done. Can we go home? No! So the last part, because we are Africans and we are in the spirit of curating the event, we are going to take a few photos and we are going to do it very fast. Okay? So when you're called upon, kindly come in front here and pause. Smile. Smile as if you have not been here for 3 hours. So the first picture we are going to take, the chief guest and the 2023 ABRI winner. DJ unaweza tuwekea kwa music. Ama nani anaitwa nani mwenye alikuwa anatuimbia rudi. Iya, kama ndo atuimbie. So after the official photographs, you can take a few pictures with a few people, but let's first finish the official lineup, yeah? Alright, so the chief guest and the winners, stay right there for a minute. The chair judging panel, next up. Next patient. Fantastic. Chief guest, the winner, stay right there. Next one, stay right there. The secretariat and the advisory board. The advisory board. Naona kama tutachukua viti kae tu hapo. Secretariat now plus the top 3, number 1, 2 and 3. That is the runners up. The space and wachukue viti. It's okay? Washe, ama mnasemanga nini? Washe. Alright, so the chief guest, the secretariat and the advisory board, the judging panel and the keynote speaker, please. Let's be left to the chair judging panel. I mispronounce. Yeah? Where's the Caroline? Oh, she left. Okay. Hiya. All shortlisted authors, everybody, all shortlisted authors, all serving of you.
Nice one.
Let's be joined by the rest of the judging panel. The rest of the judging panel, please. And then the last picture will be of the 2022 winner and of the 2023 winner, Jerusha. Thank you so very much. Jerusha, please. If you could, do you have your trophy? Now, ladies and gentlemen, now we may go home. However, wow. However, if you want to take more pictures with the photographers, the floor is now open. Have a great evening.